The Wilgekraal Pass is located on a rough gravel road which forms an alternative route to the R36 between Machadodorp and Leidenbergen in Mpumalanga. The pass, which translates from Afrikaans to English as Willow Tree Corral, is named after the Wilgekraal Spruit, a small tributary of the Crocodile River which parallels the pass for its entire length. It's almost 7 kilometers long and has a height gain of nearly 400 meters, making it a fairly significant pass. The road surface is good, although quite rocky, and can be driven in any vehicle provided that the weather conditions allow. We filmed this pass from north to south. The start of the pass is marked by the entrance to a farmstead on the left-hand side, which is flanked on either side by tall cedar trees. The road curves through 45 degrees to the right, then straightens up for 850 meters as it ascends slowly towards the low hills in front of you. The gravel surface is good throughout the section, but keep your speed low as there are a few subtle twists and turns and the occasional hump where irrigation pipes have been inserted under the road. A slight kink to the right is encountered after the straight, then the gradient kicks up slightly and the road becomes a lot more bumpy. At the 1.6 kilometer point, you'll reach the attractive entrance gate to the Wagenbekjeshoek estate, which is clearly signposted. Continue straight on for another 200 meters, where a left-hand bend marks the start of the true ascent. This leads almost immediately into a shallow right-hand curve and then into a 90-degree left-hander. There are expansive views over the Wilgekraal Spruit Valley on your right at this point. The road now traverses through some thick bush and a low cutting, then curves to the right and straightens up for just 85 meters before the sharpest corner of the pass is encountered, which is a true hairpin of 180 degrees to the left. Now heading almost true north, the road climbs steeply up the hillside, the surface getting a little rocky and uneven through this section. Two gentle S-bends are followed by a sharp 120-degree turn to the right. There's a great view from the apex of this corner of the Kwana Dam off to the north, but this would be a dangerous place to stop. The heading reverts back to the south as the road climbs steeply onwards and upwards, following the spine of the mountain. There are a few gentle bends and some low cuttings which are encountered throughout this part of the traverse, and the road surface degenerates somewhat at this point, significantly increasing the chances of getting a puncture. The view to the left is blocked off by the hillside, but the views off to the right over the Wilgekraal Spruit Valley far below are unobstructed. This part of Mpumalanga is covered with thousands of circular stone structures linked by ancient roads and what appears to be agricultural terraces. Ruins in the hills around Machadodorp and Watervalboven suggest a continuous settlement larger than the current-day Johannesburg. Due to the construction of roads and agricultural activity, the network is far from intact, but good examples are clearly visible on Google Earth. A number of theories have been postulated by experts and academics, some of them extremely radical. The road begins a gentle left-hand bend, then at the 4.1 kilometer mark, curves back to the right. Just at this point, there's a road intersecting off to the left, blocked by a gate. This leads to a launch site for the paragliders who make use of the updrafts generated by the slopes of the eastern side of this mountain to soar high over the valley. Pine plantations begin to appear on the slopes ahead of you as the road continues to climb towards the summit. There are a number of places along this section where you could safely stop to take a break or photographs. Many of these stone structures, including the site known as Adam's Calendar near Kaapsehoop, have been dated to be possibly as old as anywhere between 75,000 and 200,000 years. Could there have been a lost civilization living in this area so long ago? There's a wealth of information available on the internet, and some basic research will turn up a number of interesting articles. The pine plantations increase in density throughout this last push up to the summit, which is reached at the 5.8 kilometer mark. A wide view over the hills and mountains to the south opens up as you reach the crest, and then the descent begins as you traverse a shallow right-hand bend. The road now runs arrow straight for 900 meters towards the end of the pass, which is clearly marked by a lone pine tree guarding the entrance to a farmstead on the right-hand side.